I'm pleased to sponsor the alternative interview.
Let's go towards the end of that season then, because when the 2-0 went home to Sutton where you scored, and then at North Ferriby. Do you remember going up to North Ferriby? You got a couple on that day, and it was the second, I think it's the last away game of the season. We needed the win just to get ourselves right into the playoff picture. And then, of course, we had Braintree at home on the last day where we got into the playoffs. And special times, all of a sudden, everyone was out, the crowds were flocking, and I think people started to believe that there was something was going to happen.
Yeah, you know what? I remember those 3 games perfectly. Sutton game, I think I scored really late. The North Ferriby game, I think I just signed my deal the day before. That game, scored 2 and then set up Rennes for the 3rd from a corner. And I think Dover were the team we were in competition with.
That's right, yeah, just before then, that's right, yeah.
I forgot who they lost. They lost midweek. And someone who used to play for Aldershot scored for the team against Dover. I forgot who, I can't remember the name, because we were all watching it and we were all in the group chat like, what's the score? Literally everyone was updating it. And I think someone managed to watch it online and was keeping us updated, which meant we had to beat Braintree on the last day of the season. I remember that as fans galore. Literally the place was packed. The sun was shining. I think there was like a band out the back at the end of the game.
Right, yeah.
Last game of the season, they were doing burgers and that round the back, and we like socialising with the fans. But that was a good game just to mark off the season. Whether we made the playoffs or not, it was just a great game to be involved in. You could say it's a perfect day for football, for the fans, for us, and we kind of went out with no pressure, knowing that we'd win the game. I think Braintree had to win to stay up, and obviously we had to win to. I think we needed a point in the end to make the playoffs because our goal difference was so good. And we performed. And I remember coming off after I scored, and I didn't want to come off because the game was so enjoyable to play in, and we were playing such good football. Didn't feel like we were going to concede, and that's where we felt, I wouldn't say invincible, but our confidence was so high, thinking that, look, going into these playoffs, we can beat anyone if we put in a performance like we did that day and the previous games before. So, a great time. Those last few games, I think Manny signed roughly that time as well. He came in, which added extra competition with places. We had a small squad to start with, but towards the end, we had I think up to 20 players, I think, and everyone knew if someone was injured, someone would come in and do the same job, if not better, than the one that has just dropped out. So it pushed everyone to do better and ultimately pushed the team to achieve more on the pitch as well.
And so you've achieved all that, and then it comes to Tranmere Rovers, of course, in the playoffs. And you'd have fancied your chances because, as you said earlier on, we'd beaten them at home, we'd drawn away in a really good game away from home. Well, you scored, didn't you, away from home?
Yeah.
That's it. And there was a real buzz about the place. And I suppose when you look back, we didn't actually play badly, but it was just one of those things where just different mistakes at different times cost us dearly, and it must have been really frustrating. But what do you remember about building up to that game?
I was buzzing. Like, I don't think I could be happier going into a game, and that's not even a joke. Normally, I'm one of the most happiest people you'll meet in your life. Even going into games, I'm always messing about, making jokes, whatever. But I just remember thinking at home, we've got these. And obviously we ended up, was it 2-0 in the end?
3-0. 3-0.
Oh,
yeah.
Did they score late?
Yeah.
So they scored early. I think Jimbo gave the ball away near our box. They squared it and scored. Jim held his hands up, to be fair. But again, that was where Jim didn't really play that much that season, unfortunately for him. So little things like knowing when to clear it, knowing when to play, probably didn't come into his mind. He always wanted to play football. He's come out of the academy as well. So he wanted to play at the time. Yeah, got caught on it and they scored. So you're thinking, okay, 1-0, it's all right. We've been 1-0 behind in however many games. We've got goals on our team. And I think at 1-0, we had a couple of chances. I don't know if it was, I hit the bar and I think Rennes went close as well. And we get into half time. I think it was 1-0 at half time. Mm-hmm. And then second half, you're thinking, oh, it's only 1-0. Boys, like, just make sure we're in the game come 90 minutes. And then I think a cross coming, Coley's caught it. I don't know if he's gone to, I can't remember exactly what happened, but I think he's either gone to throw it or he's dropped it. And I think Norwood's tapped it in. Mm. And he was going to throw it to me. I remember it perfectly because he's got it. I've turned, ran. And then all I hear is cheering. And I'm thinking, what's happened there? The ball's in the net. And I didn't actually see it until we watched the video back of what happened. But Coley that season was unreal. I think he won our player of the year.
He did, yeah.
In so many games that he could have done anything in that game and no one would have had a go at him. But again, like Jim did, he was the first one to hold his hands up and say, look, sorry, boys. My mistake. And when you do that, someone as nice as Coley as well, you can't have a go at him. Obviously, it's playoffs and each goal is really important, especially away goals as well. But again, Coley, you can't. One of the nicest guys I've ever come into contact with in football, and obviously still with me now at Gloucester. And it was just disappointing that game because we knew how good we were. And I think I remember saying in the change room, I'll say this in a nice way, if you don't think we can win or go through, don't bother getting on the bus. That's the first thing I said when we got in the changing room after the gaffer stopped speaking, because I believed that we could go there and win 3-4-0. They're a good team. They had loads of experience. They got players that are playing, like I said, in the Football League now. But I personally believed that we could go there and beat them 4-0, 5, or whatever the score we needed to do. I believed we could do it. So I remember saying it, not as nicely as I said it there, but basically, yeah, if you don't believe we can go turn it around, don't bother getting on the bus because if you don't believe, there's no point in playing the game, is there? And we went there and was it 2-2 in the end?
2-2, but you gave them a game, didn't you? There were, you scored that. I think it was just before half time. You scored that goal. It must be. Yeah. Was that the best goal you ever scored, or up there with them?
It's got to be up there. It's up there. I've got different goals for different occasions. Like it might have been the best goal to people outside, but there's goals where I've scored where I'm thinking that's probably better than that because of ABC, whatever, or the importance of each goal. Yeah, that game we took them right to the wire. I think it was 2-1 for so long.
Yeah,
we had a couple of chances where literally, I think one got cleared off the line as well.
Yeah, could have made it 3-1 then, and they were wobbling. Yeah, they were definitely wobbling at that time.
100%, yeah. So they were scrambling at that time, and we just needed something to drop for us. And then I think if we had got that third goal to make it 3-1, we would have won the game. But I think, they ended up going up the other end and scoring late, which kind of a bit deflating. But it was a season in general the whole team could have been proud of. If you told us at the beginning of the season, look, you're going to make the playoffs and lose to Tranmere, but push them hard, everyone would have snapped your hand off. And I remember after the game, I think Dean's got a video of it, of me. I was just standing and looking at the fans and they were all singing. And I just thought, look, it's just been amazing. Like the whole season, and it was that picture of me just standing in front of the fans and they're all just singing was just like one of the moments I'll never forget. We lost, but I've never seen a happier crowd in my life after a team losing, if that makes sense. But yeah, they sang all game.
It does. I mean, it was a sense of pride, obviously, because it had been such a special season. And for yourself to come from there was your first full season of senior football. And, you know, it says here you missed just 4 of 51 matches and you were joint top scorer with Scott Rendell with 13 goals. So from a personal point of view, that's pretty special too.
No, yeah, 100%. I think I ended up with 13 goals and I think 15 assists. And if someone tells you you're going to do that as a attacking player or a wide player, you'll snap their hands off straight away. And like I said, that's not just because of me. Obviously, if I created goals, it's Renz or someone, Matty, anyone had to score it. And if I've scored someone, the whole team have done something which has led to me scoring. So it was a full team effort and there was no egos in that change room. Everyone was on the same level in terms of mentality and everyone believed in everyone, trusted everyone. When we stepped over that white line, and the gaffer trusted us as well to implement his ideas. So again, for me personally, it was a great season, but as a whole for the club, from where they were the season before, a few years before as well, no one could have pictured us being there. So yeah, it was unbelievable personally, and as a team, as a club, as a community, was unreal. A film called Honey is a dance film, and they just kept going like that, and we just put it all together and randomly just come up with that celebration. Club would get a decent amount of money for me going. I think I had 6 months left of my deal, which isn't a lot.